back to another video on Amount of Sports Talk. In this video, we're going to be doing my NFL predictions for Week 1 because the season is coming up. On Thursday, we got kickoff night with the Houston Texans taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl 54 champions. Our champions of the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, led by the best quarterback, in my opinion, in the league right now, Patrick Mahomes, Boy, whatever you want to call him. Mahomes Boy, he's a freaking insane quarterback. Never seen a better quarterback that can do all kinds of throws that he does. Anyway, the season is coming up. Week 1 is finally approaching, and kickoff is coming up pretty fast, one of the most exciting times of year, according to me. Besides school starting, this is what I'm really looking forward to. Obviously not school, but I can't wait for it. But I haven't been as excited as I normally would because I'm a bit apprehensive as to how smoothly the season will be going, because we're going to be still doing it during a pandemic, and I just hope everything should be running as smoothly as possible and run as normal as we can during the new normal. I see that teams are still selling tickets, so I'm a bit interested to see how that's really going to work out, how many people are actually going to even buy tickets. I'd prefer them not to have a crowd, but I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. It's just week 1, and we'll get some basis on that. So let's get started with the picks. So Thursday night, 7:20 p.m. on NBC at Kansas City, we have kickoff night. The Houston Texans versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This is the rematch of last year's AFC Divisional, where it was one of the most weirdest games I've seen, as the Texans jumped out to a 24-0 lead in the first quarter, and then KC stormed back in the second quarter, taking the lead at half, 28-24. So that's a good game. It's a blowout, then it came to a good game. And then Mahomes goes another level, and then the game becomes a blowout in favor of the Chiefs that blew out the Texans 51-31 in that divisional round. So the Chiefs scored 50 points in that divisional round playoff last year. Pretty insane. And the Texans blew a 24-point lead, which is pretty bad. I expect another really fun game to watch. Got the two of the best young quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and obviously Patrick Mahomes. They're going head-to-head once more. Should be some really entertaining plays, both quarterbacks able to scramble outside the pocket, able to improvise, and move around pretty well, making things happen, both legs and arm, which is what is really entertaining. And you just saw Deshaun. He signed a 4-year, $160 million contract, the second richest in the NFL. Can you believe that that's the second richest? And Mahomes gonna blow out your mind with a 12-year, $500 million contract, $500 million man, Patrick Mahomes. So both QBs got their paycheck well deserved and should be ready to deliver. Now, the Texans' defense, they haven't really changed much, and they were not that good last year, to be honest. They struggled mightily in the pass defense. They have no new pass rushers. Pass rushing was struggling for the Texans last year. You still got J.J. Watt, though, and he's the only person on the line. And J.J. Watt is going to have to make a much bigger impact than he did last season. But I do expect the Chiefs to put up some big points, big offensive points against the Texans defense, which I think is still kind of weak. The Chiefs, have many weapons. Recently, rookie signed Clyde Edwards-Helaire should be really good for the Chiefs. Now, for the Texans offensively, they traded DeAndre Hopkins, which was pretty shocking at the time. And they got David Johnson, which is not really that good value. And they signed other receivers like Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, working by committee in the wide receiver department. Now, I think Deshaun has quite a bit of weapons to work with. You got Brandon Cooks, who's pretty good, Randall Cobb, and then you got Kenny Stills and Will Fuller from last year. And I think the four of them are pretty good together. And David Johnson as well as Duke Johnson. So Deshaun has some stuff to work with. He should, put up a good game. But the Chiefs' pass defense are pretty good. Obviously, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, Juan Thornhill, Rashad Breeland, and the other guys. They greatly improved throughout the season last year, and they should make some good stops on the Texans' offense. It'll be close early. I expect some offensive fireworks in this game. But the Chiefs, Super Bowl champions they're going to pull away in the second half and dominate. Now let's take a look at my prediction. So we have kickoff night, Houston Texans versus the KC Chiefs. Let's see what my score prediction is. We have the Chiefs scoring 34 points and the Texans 21. Kansas City takes it by 13. The next game we have is on Sunday at 12 o'clock. All these times are Central Time on Fox. This will be at Minnesota. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings in an NFC North matchup. Once again, early in the season, we get a matchup between the Packers and Vikings. Minnesota last year, they proved themselves as contenders with last year's playoff run. We saw them beat the Saints in the Superdome shockingly in overtime, with Kirk Cousins delivering a dime to Adam Thielen and then threw up the jump ball to Kyle Rudolph for the win. We saw Kirk Cousins deliver, which is something we haven't really seen much of, but Kirk Cousins showed he's able to do it and is a franchise quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. But the Vikings have lost some pieces in free agency in the offseason with the Stephon Diggs trade. Stephon Diggs went to the Bills. We had Everson Griffin signing with the Cowboys and Xavier Rhodes, the best cornerback on the Vikings, going to the Indianapolis Colts, and Linval Joseph, their defensive tackle, moving to the LA Chargers. Now, you can see the Vikings, they lost plenty of pieces on defense. Their defensive line is much weaker, but they did help it by signing Yannick Ngakoue a couple of weeks ago. I still expect the Packers to have an easy time running the ball with Aaron Jones, who's a really good running back. Really like Aaron Jones. The Vikings, they don't have much DTs, qualified DTs that we can say of, and I think Aaron Jones should be able to run right through them. Cornerbacks from Minnesota, they're untested as well, and Devontae Adams, the number one receiver for the Green Bay Packers, should cook for Aaron Rodgers, and the offense, I think, should do well in the first game. Defensively, the Packers have pretty much the same defense, but as we know, Dalvin Cook, one of the league's leading rushers last year, really good running back, and still have Adam Thielen, and also they drafted new wideout Justin Jefferson, who I think was really good in college, might be really good this year too in the NFL. But Green Bay holds on to victory. Got a great NFC North matchup, Green Bay versus Minnesota. Here's a score prediction. Minnesota scoring a solid 23. Here the Green Bay Packers squeaking out with 26 points, taking the win in Week 1. The next game is on Sunday at 3:25 on Fox at New Orleans in the Superdome. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints in what is going to be some really good matchups here. We're going to see them play each other 2 times this year since they're in the same division, the NFC South. And we get our first look at the Tampa Bay offense. We all know what Tampa Bay is. They're led by Tom Brady, of course, and taking on the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome, of course led by Drew Brees. The divisional rivalry, it's going to be really good this year. The 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks going head-to-head. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th and 7th time they're going to be going head-to-head. The Saints, once again, coming off a heartbreak in the playoffs. Done by the Vikings once again after the Minnesota Miracle. We had Kirk Cousins deliver in overtime. Again, the Saints are still favorites again this year. They're still led by the powerful offense of Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, and then a solid defense led by Cameron Jordan. Now, we all know the Buccaneers made major changes in the offseason, getting most of the headlines. And obviously getting Tom Brady, which is one of the major headlines this offseason. And then here comes Rob Gronkowski joining up with his former teammate Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Now, we also got LaShawn McCoy as a new running back, and the recent signing of Leonard Fournette was a big shocker. We have the Buccaneers, looking to have a very powerful offense this year. Many very talented players for Brady to work with, and if Brady's as good as he is, he should definitely be able to make the Buccaneers offense cook really nicely. Now, I do expect this game to be very high scoring, both teams really powerful offenses. But this is Brady's first time going out of New England, playing with a new coach, a new system, a new playbook. Everything is new for Brady. So I don't know if he'll be consistent enough to deliver in his first game. away from the Patriots. I'm not saying he won't be good away from the Patriots. I just think in this first game, he may not be as good as what we think he should be. I think it'll take a couple of games for him to get properly set in the new offense and Bruce Arians as his head coach. And we have Drew Brees at home with the firepower offense beating the rival Buccaneers. Let's take a look at the score prediction. Next up, we have this NFC South matchup. It's going to be really good this year with Tom Brady versus Drew Brees, and with Tom Brady and Tampa Bay, if you know what that means. I think it's pretty stupid. Whatever. We have the Saints versus Bucks. Tampa Bay scoring 31 points in their first game with Brady. We have the Saints scoring even more, 37, to take the win by 6. For the last, I'd say, good matchup of the week, we have it Sunday Night Football, 7:20 on NBC, as always. And then this is going to be at Los Angeles in the SoFi Stadium. The new stadium is looking really nice. To me, it's probably one of the best stadiums we have now in the NFL. It's looking really good. It's a home for the Los Angeles Rams and as well as the Chargers. And we have the Dallas Cowboys going to Los Angeles to face the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football. The Cowboys, they pretty much always start their season on Sunday Night Football because they are so-called America's team, even though they haven't won in 25 years. So nothing else is new in Dallas. Now, a lot of things are new in Dallas, but I'm saying nothing is new as in they start on Sunday Night Football. That's pretty much the same every year. We all know Dallas. Major changes in offseason. The Jason Garrett era is finally over in Dallas. I think a major relief for everybody supporting the Cowboys because Jason Garrett was truly not a good coach at all, and they never got to reach their potential. You could see it last year with a very talented team. Didn't even reach the playoffs. Very disappointing. Now, they fired their entire coaching staff and brought in new coaches, most notably Mike McCarthy as the new head coach, bringing in Mike Nolan as a defensive coordinator. I think the Cowboys are going to do much better this season with new coaches. The mindset is going to be a lot better, and they will play a lot better. They made many moves in free agency and offseason, as well as the NFL draft. They got CeeDee Lamb in the first round, a steal in the first round. Everson Griffin signed, Poe. Their D-line is looking good. Unfortunately, after they signed Gerald McCoy, he got injured, and then Clinton Dix, who they also signed, got released eventually. As well as the Rams, who let go of Todd Gurley, who signed with his hometown team, the Atlanta Falcons. We also had Brandon Cooks, who was with the Rams. He signed with the Texans. But I'm unsure how the Rams are going to operate with this new offense. Obviously, Sean McVay, one of the best offensive minds in the league, but they don't really have much talent. Jared Goff doesn't really have many weapons to go to. We have Cooper Kupp, who I think is a really good receiver, and then they have some solid tight ends, but they don't have a great offensive line, running backs that are untested. I don't really like this LA Rams offense as of right now. But the defense is really good. We have Aaron Donald, one of the best players in the league right now, and I think he should be able to slow down Zeke. The Cowboys O-line, they haven't had Travis Frederick. Lyle Collins is currently on IR, and you're looking at a Cowboys O-line which is not as good as the years before. We have the Cowboys defense, who's pretty good. Their D-line is much better this year, and they should be able to slow down a much, much weaker LA Rams offense. And the Cowboys' many wide receivers, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, should be able to play a good role in this game and score, as the Rams only have Jalen Ramsey. And we have the Cowboys taking the win. Let's look at my score prediction. Dallas Cowboys versus Los Angeles Rams in the new SoFi Stadium on Sunday Night Football. We have the Cowboys scoring 20 points and the Rams scoring only 14. I have a pretty good defensive showdown here. The Cowboys with a new offense. I still have to figure that out with Mike McCarthy. And the Rams, not really much guys to work with. So we have a low scoring game with the defense. Cowboys winning it by 6. So here are all the other games for week 1. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want to take a look at all of these games. And yeah, that's the end of my first NFL predictions video for the 2020 season. Hope you enjoyed it. You can go ahead and comment what your predictions are, what do you think of my predictions, as well as hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel for each week's NFL predictions upcoming NBA predictions, NBA recaps, NBA commentary, NFL recaps and commentary, as well as obviously the weekly picks, which should be coming out as the NFL season goes on smoothly. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.